Everyone ignored her, but a four-star general had other plans. The reception hall buzzed with polite chatter, the clink of glasses, and the subtle murmur of officers and dignitaries greeting one another. Amid the elegant decor and the formal uniforms, Captain Emily Carter sat quietly at a corner table, her posture straight, her hands folded neatly, her expression calm. To the casual observer, she might have appeared unremarkable, another officer quietly attending the event, blending into the background of a room filled with high-ranking officials, decorated veterans, and influential policymakers. Yet beneath that composed exterior was a history of extraordinary achievement, missions accomplished under impossible conditions, leadership tested in ways most could never imagine, and a record of service that demanded respect. For years, Emily had quietly led teams through operational challenges that others considered too complex or dangerous. She had coordinated multi-unit operations, executed precision extraction missions, and ensured the safety of her teams under hostile conditions, often making decisions that saved lives and preserved critical intelligence. Despite this, she had learned early in her career that visibility and recognition rarely came immediately. Excellence, for her, was measured in results, not applause, and so she moved through her duties with a quiet focus, rarely seeking attention. As the evening progressed, Emily noticed the pattern she had long become accustomed to. Colleagues passed by her table without acknowledgement, guests overlooked her presence, and conversations continued as though she were invisible. The subtle dismissal stung, not because of ego, but because of the reality it represented. Despite her accomplishments, assumptions about rank, age, or appearance led many to underestimate her contributions. She had faced skepticism before, and yet tonight the quiet indifference seemed more pronounced than ever. A few junior officers whispered among themselves, casting glances in her direction, their curiosity mingled with incredulity. One murmured, "Is she really just a captain? I thought she'd be higher by now." Others laughed softly, assuming that she could not possibly have the level of experience they imagined. Emily's calm exterior did not waver. She knew that patience, professionalism, and composure were her greatest assets. Recognition, she understood, would come from action, not insistence. And indeed, as the evening continued, it arrived in a manner more striking than she could have anticipated. From the far end of the room, General William Harrington, a four-star general renowned for his strategic brilliance and decisive leadership, approached. Tall, authoritative, and commanding attention without raising his voice, he scanned the hall before his gaze settled on Emily. The murmurs and laughter at her expense paused as those nearby recognized the presence of one of the highest-ranking officers in the military. General Harrington's reputation for discerning true talent was unmatched, and tonight his focus was deliberate. He moved toward Emily's table with purpose, his steps measured, exuding the kind of authority that left no room for casual assumptions. The room instinctively adjusted, chairs shifted, and officers straightened, sensing that something extraordinary was about to unfold. When he reached her table, he paused, surveying the scene with a calm, assessing eye. Then, with a deliberate nod, he spoke directly to Emily, his voice carrying effortlessly over the subdued crowd. "Captain Carter, may I join you?" Emily rose to her feet, composed but quietly honored, and gestured for him to sit. The general settled across from her, his presence commanding the attention of all in the vicinity. Those who had ignored her before now watched with a mixture of awe and curiosity. The general's years of command presence were legendary, and tonight he was using it to reset the tone of the room. "I've been following your deployments," General Harrington began, his tone calm but edged with unmistakable authority. "Your leadership during the Gulf extraction mission, the coordination of multi-unit field exercises, and the rapid response operations you've directed all have been exceptional. It is rare to see such decisive action, foresight, and composure, particularly under pressure. He paused, allowing the weight of his words to settle. The room went silent, officers craning their necks to catch every word. Emily inclined her head slightly, acknowledging the praise but maintaining her characteristic humility. "Thank you, sir," she said softly. "I simply do my duty." The general's eyes, sharp and discerning, studied her for a moment longer. "It is precisely because of officers like you that this service functions effectively. Too often, talent is overlooked, dismissed, or underestimated because of appearances or assumptions. Tonight, that changes." His statement reverberated through the hall, leaving everyone present with no doubt that Emily's contributions were both recognized and respected at the highest levels. He continued, addressing the surrounding audience now with a commanding clarity. "I want it understood that Captain Carter's achievements are exemplary. Her operational insight, leadership, and dedication set a standard for every officer in this room. Any assumptions otherwise are simply incorrect. Respect her experience, learn from her methods, recognize her accomplishments." The murmurs and whispers that had followed Emily through the evening evaporated instantly. Those who had dismissed her now regarded her with a mixture of respect, humility, and awe. The subtle lessons she had taught through years of quiet competence were reinforced dramatically by the general's intervention. Over the following moments, the four-star general engaged Emily in discussion about upcoming missions, strategy planning, and leadership initiatives. His trust and recognition were evident, and the audience saw firsthand that her career was being propelled not by ceremony or superficiality, but by undeniable merit. Officers around the hall now sought her input. Questions were directed towards her expertise, and colleagues who had previously overlooked her now observed with attentive respect. The evening concluded with the general standing to address the full assembly. "Let this moment serve as a reminder," he said, eyes sweeping across the room, "that leadership, capability, and dedication are the measures of respect, not assumptions, appearances, or age. Emily Carter exemplifies these principles. Respect talent when you see it, and let excellence guide your judgment." Emily left the hall later that evening with a quiet sense of satisfaction. She had always understood that respect is earned, not assumed, and tonight the recognition came in a way that reinforced both her professional standing and her belief in merit-based achievement. Those who had ignored her learned a lesson that would resonate long after the dinner ended. In the weeks and months following the event, Emily's influence expanded. Junior officers who had previously doubted her sought guidance, mentorship, and training. Her teams performed with increased confidence, inspired by the acknowledgement she received. The story of the dinner circulated quietly throughout the base, illustrating the profound impact of recognition from those who understood true capability. Her career continued to rise, each promotion, each mission, each success reinforcing the principle that dedication, competence, and integrity inevitably earn recognition. And through it all, she carried herself with the calm authority that had defined her from the beginning, never flaunting her achievements, but allowing excellence and acknowledgement from those that mattered to speak louder than any words. That evening remained a pivotal moment, a testament to the value of patience, humility, and consistent performance. The four-star general's intervention did more than honor Emily. It transformed perceptions, set a standard, and reminded everyone present that true leadership is recognized when it is earned, not assumed, and that the quiet officers in the corner often hold the power to command the room with their results alone.